Hey everybody, it's the Nitty Professor. I'm here with my dog Siva. We're on the bike trail and taking a walk, and I thought while I'm doing that I might as well share some of my adventures at the Red River Valley Fiber Festival that took place in Fargo, North Dakota. And after a bit I'll share some of the haul that I purchased while I was there. It's a lovely day. It's around 80 degrees. There aren't as many clouds today. There's some birds chirping. I'm not sure what kind of bird that is. We've got a bit of a, I don't want to say a swamp here, but there's a lot of holding ponds in this area. It's extraordinarily flat, and therefore managing the water is a bit of a challenge. And Siva's got something going on. You okay, Sieves? Huh? I think she's fine. So, the first exhibit that I went to was a woman who was selling antique spinning wheels. And it was fascinating because she had these wheels dating back to maybe 150 years. We were debating over the degree to which some of them were handmade, or machine made. So they seemed quite old. So I might try to visit with her. She lives a couple hours away, and I thought it might be fun to purchase one. She basically wants to find a good home for them, and I'm pretty interested in providing one, partly because the book 4 of my novel series is called The Spinning Wheel Maker, and it's precisely about old spinning wheels, how they were made, and a young man who tries to emulate the old craftsmanship methods. And I had to study a lot, learned a lot of interesting history to try to bring all of that to life. So having a vintage spinning wheel as a souvenir would be an awesome way to celebrate that particular novel. Well, then the next booth that I went to was very relevant because it was a woman and her friend who were selling their cozy knitting novels. And I've always thought that would be a good way to get my books out to the people who would be most interested in them, which would be Fiber Festival visitors. So I talked at length with her. When I get back home, I'll show you the novel that I bought from her, and she was extremely forthcoming with a lot of information on how she wrote her novel, the artwork that she had done, and marketing efforts, as well as just a lot of sort of managerial type things that were very helpful. So I'm hoping that a year from now I'll be able to sit there at a table with at least several of my knitting novels and sell them in person and sign those just like she signed hers for me. So there were a lot of really cool booths. There were a lot of what you would expect, yarn vendors. I posted a couple of videos of some of the vendors that I bought products from, the adventure yarn truck, which was really cool. Come on, Siva. And she has always gorgeous hand-dyed yarn from, as she explained, all over the country. And there were a few vendors that had, stuff from like Barocco or Noro or what you expect. But I was into a lot more of the more unique type of vendors. For example, there was one, I think it was called Zippy Portraits, I'm not sure, Zippy something. And that couple, it's a woman and her man, they recycle old zippers and use those, they sew them onto felting to form outlines for little portraits or figures. Look at that Russian olive tree. I wish I had one of those in my yard. I think those were brought over here by the Germans from Russia. So in any case, so she sews the zippers onto, what you got, Siva? Come on, girl, let's go. And then she fills in the areas with felt to make designs. She had these really cool portraits that looked very realistic, and she uses a kind of a filling technique for the noses, so she could have a kind of a three-dimensional quality to her work, as well as the color and texture of the felted wool. None of the pieces was more than 2, maybe 3 inches across, but she had a lot of themes: nature, holiday, portraits. They did brooches, ornaments, magnets, and I've just never seen art like that in the fiber art world. I thought it was very creative, novel, and just gave me yet one more idea for how I could use fiber crafting and fiber art in my novels. So when I see that kind of creativity, I just light up. It's inspiring. It was just inspiring. And then, so another video I did was the Lazy Farmer, which I'm not sure if that's a good name, because it seemed like, based on what Jennifer was telling me, that she works pretty hard. But she has several breeds of sheep, including Icelandic, Shetland. I posted her website in the little video that I made when I was talking to her. So if you're interested, you can go there to find more. But she's passionate about sustainability and protecting the environment, as well as keeping her flock healthy and happy. So she does all that she can to give them a lot of freedom. What you got, Siva? Huh? You finding a toad? I have no idea what she's sniffing. But she makes beautiful products. I love seeing the assortment of roving that she had, and she had yarn, and love it. How you doing? Hello. Was plant dyed, and she had a lot of examples of the plants that she used for the dye. I bought a couple of 2-ounce roving hunks and braids, I guess, and they just felt so nice. The way I think they're going to spin up. Not like, superwash merino, which I always find it's hard on my hands. Come on, C's. It can kind of turn into like this little knife going across my fingers. So I always appreciate wool that's very woolly, very woolen spun yarn is what I can make with them. Let's go, Siva. What else did she have? So I also bought, and I'll show this to you, some unwashed Shetland wool. And that's going to make a great project, because I'm going to have to wash and prep that wool and then card it before I can even spin it. So that will grow my skills in the area of wool preparation for spinning. So I'm excited about that. I saw several booths where there were like small batch yarn dyers, and I really enjoyed that. The whole atmosphere of the festival was warm, friendly, community-centered. It was just a 2-day event. I've gone there like 4 times now, and every time I've gone, I've really enjoyed it. One of the things I love about it is just the variety of fiber vendors and how open they are to talking about what they do, what they make. And they also had tons of classes and demonstrations going on. I didn't participate in any of that. I was there to basically look at the yarn and the wool. And my son was with me, and he had his dog. So we kind of made a bit of a short trip of it. But it was well worth it. And if you ever have an opportunity, if you're in the upper Midwest and you're around in early August, you might want to look out for the Red River Valley Fiber Festival in Fargo. Fargo's a lovely little city. There are plenty of places to check out besides the Veterans Memorial Arena. There are a lot of eateries and lots of other things to do. So I think it's worth the trip. And when Siva and I get back from our walk, which we're going to really enjoy here, we'll show you some of the things that I picked up. Siva and I are back now from our lovely walk on the bike trail, and I thought I would show you some of the things that I picked up at the Red River Valley Fiber Fest. First is this book, Knit Fast, Die Last, and this is the book from the booth featuring the author Callista Rains, who was selling them there. Looks really fun. A Knitwits Are Us mystery. I'll have to start reading it. I just finished a book called Just As You Are, and it's LGBTQ fiction. It was pretty good, and so it's time for me to start a new book. This looks like a lot of fun. I like her cover art. She had a diamond painting with this cover as a poster, which was kind of cool. And of course she signed it for me, so that's a lot of fun. But I was just so over the moon because she was doing exactly what I'm hoping to do in the coming months. Is to have my novels out and ready for people to buy if they would like, and to take in and sign and, you know, get to know people who are interested in reading knitting novels. I think my approach to writing is different from hers. We were sort of trading notes. She said one of the questions that she got from time to time was if it was appropriate for young children, like, you know, middle school, maybe not that young, but and I'm not sure how I would answer that. I might have to say, maybe not. My novels are a little bit more HBO. So I'm hitting a different market from her. So I think that's really good. But I'm looking forward to reading this. And it was a hoot to meet the author and just get some sense of how she markets. And she was very encouraging and seemed to suggest that it wasn't that hard. So yay. On that front, my final reader for book 1 was doing like final copy edit, go through, make sure all the loose ends are tied up. She only found like 10 little things that she thought I should change, and I agreed with about 8 of them, so I changed them. So I feel like that novel's ready to go, and now I've got to get into formatting. And I have a graphic artist friend of mine, local, working on a cover art, and she sent me some images that are really exciting. I'm very excited. So hopefully, you know, in a month or so, I will have a book for you guys to check out if you are interested. So let's take a look at what I got. One of the first places after I bought the book that I sort of ran to the Yarn Adventure Truck, because I've bought products from them before, and I really love sorting through other hand-dyeds. So this is the skein that I bought. Obviously, I don't need a lot of yarn, so I didn't buy a whole lot. But I do love this brand, Laughing Cat Fibers. Partly, guess what, because of the label. Partly, guess what, because the quality is excellent. And so this is the photograph that Dean, he was talking to us on that little video that I posted yesterday about how he would take photos with his telescope of astronomical phenomena. And then the dyer would use that as inspiration for this yarn, which is called Helix Nebula. And the type of yarn is Astro DK. But isn't that, I just think it's outstanding. I might just try to, I keep saying I'm going to learn cables. I could make a cabled hat with this, I think, easily. It's got just a little stellina in it. Thought it was really striking color. So I got that. And at the Lazy Farmer, which I think is kind of a misnomer, but here's her tag on her products. I raise sheep. Really enjoyed meeting her. I think it would have been great to have a little bit longer talk with her, but there were customers left and right. So we couldn't really draw things out very much, but see if you can take this in. This just, to me, looks luscious. I really prefer to spin a woolly wool, because when I deal with superwash or merino that's fine, after a while, it's like metal needles. It hurts my fingers. And so it's a real challenge for me to get through something like that comfortably. But this is just perfect. And the color is to die for. Look at that olive green. This particular sheep is a Columbia Cross, and it's a 2-ounce braid. And, you know, even the price is good, you know, for considering it's made from a sustainable farm in Minnesota, and a lot of handcrafting going into it. And here's the other one I bought from her. I mean, you can see I've got kind of a pumpkin theme going on, right? Take a look. Aren't those going to be beautiful together? Not sure what I'll end up making, but first I got to get it spun up. But I am looking forward to that. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I don't have a label on this one. I forget. It's a different sheep, but whatevs. I'm going to have fun spinning that. Now, at the Fiber Genie, so I was immediately drawn to her booth because of these colors. I am just a sucker. A complete sucker for these colors. Talk about drinking Kool-Aid. Oh my goodness. This yarn is called Happy Hug. And it says Bibbidi Bobble Bulky. So I think that refers to the kind of, it says the weight. And it's 50% alpaca and 50% fine Peruvian merino. Now she told me this is not superwash, which made me happy because when you do get into these colors, that's the dilemma. It's the acid dyes and the superwash yarn are like this magic palette for neon. But this does not have superwash, and I think the addition of the alpaca will make it a lot of fun. I do not normally knit with nubbly yarn like this, and that's the reason why I picked it up. I thought it'd be something different, and I have another skein that is kind of a pink, and this one is actually called Soft Pink. I think it's tabby. See what you think. Is that what you think it says? Soft pink tabby? Taffy? This is one of a kind. She does small batch hand dyeing, and I thought these two, I could do a sort of a kind of a striped scarf with these that would go with. I actually have a hoodie that is very close to this in color. So it's sort of between these two pinks. That's what my hoodie is. I got it at the House on the Rock. If you've never been to the House on the Rock and you're interested, let me know. I might do a video on that. That's one of the coolest places in the world. I also got from her this. This was in her half off bin, and I don't have a label on it, but I know it's a sock yarn that's 75/25 nylon, and I'm guessing superwash. I'm a sucker for sock yarn, so I do like the colors. I like the speckling. I often deprive myself of speckled sock yarn. In this case, I decided I would not do that. And here's her little sticker. And she very kindly and generously gave me this braid. Love those colors. I'm going to have to figure out how to spin this. I would like to know more about fractal spinning. I think I could have a lot of fun breaking this up into different colors and organizing it and figuring out how I want to go about it. I do like how soft this is. The content, let me see if I can find it on here, is Rambouillet. So I asked her which is like the softest to spin, and she recommended this. Mojave Rose is the color. It's a 2-ounce braid, so 50 grams. And yeah, those colors are a lot of fun. And then the last thing that I bought, again, I was trying to pick up things that I don't normally get so I could expand my range of creativity with fiber. So I bought this bag. It's just a brown bag. This, again, was from the Lazy Farmer. And it is skirted Shetland fleece. So I'm going to have to wash this, comb it, before I can even spin it. It's 12 ounces. I'm very excited about that. Smells like lanolin. And I have washed wool before. It's been a while, so I'm going to need to review it. But this is extremely soft Shetland. I believe she said it is lamb's wool. Yes, Shetland lamb fleece. So I'm very excited about growing my skills in processing fiber. I'm not sure I would ever want to do it professionally, but I may have a character who wants to do it professionally. In fact, I probably will have that. So anyhow, that's what I got. And I'm trying to figure out what I'm most excited about here. I don't know. Spinning this is already it's so soft and squishy. Makes me happy. Maybe I'll start with this. We'll see. I'll let you guys know. And if you ever have a chance to go to the Red River Valley Fiber Fest in Fargo, North Dakota, happens early in every August, I highly recommend it. Y'all take care. Bye.